Hockey 605 here, and I'm here with Brian Prisbe, the newly hired operations director here at the Scheels IcePlex in Sioux Falls. Well, you guys are really making a lot of progress from the bare piece of ground this was not that long ago.
Yeah, it's fun to see. Every time we come out here, there's something different that's taking place. Like yesterday was the first time I was out here in a couple weeks, and the lights are on here, which just, these are the lights not for the construction, but these are the lights that will be in here permanently, and you can see how it'll be well lit and see the grandstands, the stands over there. And yeah, each time we come out here, there's something different and new and exciting out here. So this is the center rink here where most of our games will be played. The Stampede will be practicing over here on this rink primarily. On the north rink, we're calling it. Curlers will be over on the north rink. Figure skaters kind of practice will be over there. And then we'll use these two because they have more seating for games and such.
Well, I'm looking around here wondering where the Hockey 605 cameras are going to be able to set up, and I'm sure you'll let us know those soon as.
There's a mezzanine up there, and there'll be a mezzanine up there. There'll be some good corners in there for you to set up. But yeah, that'll be a good spot for you guys.
So we just noticed that you'd poured concrete on the south rink, right. And this is going to be sand along with the north rink, and those are basically put there for economical reasons.
Absolutely. The south rink was, just like you said yesterday, poured with cement, so that's about an $80,000 investment to have a cement rink. We wanted to start this out kind of bare bones, and as we build the facility, we can add on and make it more luxurious, but that gives us some flexibility in the summertime with a cement rink to do several things, like have roller skating, roller hockey, have trade shows over there. Really anything that you can bring people in and set something up on a cement floor, which obviously you can't do on a sand floor. And really the long-term goal is to keep all three of these sheets open all year long. Primarily the center rink will be open all year long, and if the demand in the summertime, we'll keep the north rink open all summer long because they're both sand floors. But in an ideal world, we'd love to keep all three of them open and have hockey and figure skating and curling and broom ball and you name it just going all year long in Sioux Falls.
I was just lucky enough to be over at our friends at hockey headquarters when you popped in the other morning, and it sounds like you're booking schedules for ice already, and it sounds busy.
Yeah, it is, no doubt. People have been waiting for this rink to be built for years and years and years, so there's been a super amount of excitement coming with this, and yeah, people are lining up to get ice. There will be new user groups that we don't even know about that are going to be coming forward. There's already some, like the curling club has reached out to me. They turned teams away last year at the SFRC, and they want to build their program. I'm sure broom balls, there's going to be some broom ball leagues. Brandon Valley Hockey, I've worked with them. They've got their outdoor rink, but after last winter's freezing winter that they had, I know that they want to come in and have some good ice here. So there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of user groups that are coming forward to use the facility.
That was really interesting the other day, listening to you talk about the curling and how interesting that is and how they prepare the ice to do that event.
Yeah, that's going to be, again, a new user group, one that I've never, when I coached for the Flyers and I was out at the SFRC and play men's league, whatever, I was out there and I saw them painting the circles on the ice. Creates a little bit more busyness on the ice, but that's a great user group. And with the Olympics, last year, it boomed. And like I said, they turned teams away last year. I've done trying to get them more ice time so they're not curling until 1 o'clock in the morning, kind of like they were at the SFRC, because who wants to do that? But yeah, that group is gung-ho. I'm meeting with them next weekend to kind of finalize some things. But yeah, you'll see those kind of groups hopefully take off here in Sioux Falls.
A while back we interviewed Joe and Sue, and we were talking about the complexities of these new refrigeration systems they put in these things. But, from what we're studying about those, they're incredibly efficient, way more efficient than the old style refrigeration systems.
Right. Well, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, we had to take down the expo late in the year because there was a leak underneath, and it cost the Hockey Association thousands of dollars to come in there and do that. Pretty archaic system. This is we were told yesterday that the people that are doing the ice facility here, making the cement over there, the refrigeration is top of the line. So we shouldn't have those problems like we did with the expo, where we got to dig up the cement and put new pipe in and all that. So we should be good to go on that.
Well, Brian, maybe we can get around and you can kind of show us what some of these other rooms are going to do. I'd really love to have us go in and look at the concrete floor in the south arena and or the south rink, and
Sure.
then maybe we can finish back up here with a little sit down in the stands and kind of talk about your background.
Sure, sounds good.
Well, here we are in what we're calling the South Rink, and this is the one that you saw on TV just getting the concrete poured yesterday. Quite a big pour.
Yeah, it is. It took, there was about 30 guys out here yesterday from a crew up in, I think, Virginia, Minnesota, or somewhere way north in Minnesota that specialize in making ice. So they were here yesterday starting on that end and basically just, we're a 30-guy crew just pouring it out, leveling it. Then they've got like these hovercrafts that come out and just literally hover over the cement and flatten it all out. Just a pretty cool process to see it from beginning to end.
Well, I saw a couple of them here checking the pour, and I asked them how flat did you get it, and they said perfect. And I said, good. Well, yeah, that's nice to hear, but the one thing we all know is that water will level itself out too, won't it?
Yeah, it will, and that's good to hear that that's perfect. We got a good crew in here to do it, so it should be good.
Well, it's a big barn. You're going to have seating along the north end of this, but I see you've got some big rooms down on the west end of this thing. What's going to go on in there?
Yeah, sure. The two rooms that you can see down there is kind of designed for Sanford, wanted to come in and bring their Sanford power in there. Eventually we'll have a hockey treadmill in there in the first room over here to the north, and then the south end of that room we're going to have a synthetic sheet of ice with a shooting room. So, a tarp set up, a net, and then again the synthetic ice that you can shoot on with your skates, which is a pretty cool concept, something that we haven't had here. They've got a like facility at the Blaine Super Rink that has 8 sheets up there that has an instructional area that has that shooting facility. So that won't be open for our grand opening, but it's a nice to have that we're going to get eventually.
Well, that's the nice thing about starting from scratch in today's times. You get to put the new technology in that you can't find in these older barns.
Right, yeah. Well, we're not at the expo anymore, and we're not at the SFRC. That the word new really wasn't in the vocabulary when you're dealing with those two places. So, yeah, at first this place is going to be pretty bare bones. We raised a lot of money, about $7 million, to build this place, which is an amazing, generous act by the community here. But we didn't want to go super crazy at first because that just means we have to ask for more money. So yeah, it'll be bare bones, but right off the bat, it's gonna give us 3 sheets of ice.
Well, and after all, the primary purpose of this thing has always been to provide ice for people to skate on, especially kids.
Exactly, and eventually, we'll probably have such a demand that we're going to have to move people back to 6 a.m. hockey or 6 a.m. figure skating. Right now, I'm trying to avoid that and doing the scheduling. It will happen. The late night men's league where we'd have games that start at 10:30, hopefully that is over with because we have the availability now. So yeah, the third sheet adds a lot more to it, and it brings in our curlers who are curling until, like I said, midnight. They hopefully won't have to be curling until midnight. So yeah, the 3 sheets brings in a lot more flexibility with scheduling for now.
Yeah, and one thing that almost all of these older rinks suffer is not having enough locker room space and enough space for people just to hang out. So I know you built that into this facility.
Yeah, there's 8 locker rooms. If you've ever been to if you're a hockey player, you've ever been to the Southwest Arena in Fargo, this kind of area between the north or the south and the center rink was designed like the Southwest Arena, where the locker rooms are in between the 2 rinks. There's storage underneath the seating. Decent sized locker rooms. I mean, they're not huge, but we fit 8 of them in here. There'll be 4 more locker rooms over on the north, between the north and the center rink. Stampede will have their locker room facility over there. But actually we have locker rooms 1 through 9 on this side, because we eliminated locker room 5. There will be no locker room 5 on this side because for those of you that have played in the SFRC, locker room 5 was the one stuck way back in that corner that has no room. It had a funky smell to it, and so Joe Zuger, the kind of the chief behind this whole thing, said, let's just eliminate the locker room 5, and so there is no locker room 5 here at the Scheels IcePlex. So that's kind of a fun fact.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like going to a motel and not having to sleep on the 13th floor.
Yeah, that locker room 5. If you have a big hockey team, there wasn't enough room to get dressed. Our men's league team would be back there, and there wasn't enough room for us bigger, older guys to be, putting on our gear there. So these locker rooms, although they won't be huge, they'll be plenty spacious enough for the needs that are trying to be met here.
One of the things that we've been paying pretty close attention to was, completion date. And it looks like you guys are right on track here.
Yeah, I asked the contractors. We had a contractor meeting out here if everything's on schedule, and they said that it is. I know they have a deadline of October 1st to get this rink done and the main lobby area done, so that they said that that's on time. I mean, a night like last night where we got some rain, you can actually see puddles in here. Obviously, Mother Nature can play a role in slowing things down, but yeah, it looks to be like everything's going to be open on time. We obviously hope to have all 3 sheets open by, let's just say, November 1st, when the Hockey Association gets going, the figure skaters get going. So yeah, it appears like everything's going to be on time.
Do you have your first event scheduled yet?
Well, we're working on our grand opening now, and this isn't written in stone, but we're looking at about a September 20th grand opening date, just to have people come out, have the associations do a pork feed, and so we're working on that. That will be the kind of the start date. Not that there will be ice to be bought on September 20th, but the place will be pretty much done where we can bring groups out and check the place out and get an idea for what a more finished product than what we're at today will look like.
Well, if there's hockey here, Hockey 605 will be here, but especially if there's pork sandwiches here, we'll be here too for that.
Make sure we let you know.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks a lot for the quick tour here this morning, and we'll be back out as this thing nears more and more completion. But boy, it's great to see what you guys are doing here.
Yeah, well, it's going to be great having you guys on board too. I know that last year at the varsity state hockey tournament, I've got a son that played on that team last year, and the excitement just from you guys being there and throwing out Twitter names, and they ate that stuff up. So they are well aware in the hockey community who you guys are, and to start working as a team here and just publicizing this place, and it's awesome. It's good that you guys are on board too. So thanks for coming out.
Well, we love hockey, and especially we love the people who are doing the skating and hauling the kids around and stuff. That's really what it's about for us.
It's hard not to like the sport of hockey. It's an amazing sport, and the people that I've met being part of the hockey program since my kids started at age 5. Now that I'll have a senior, the number of people that I met, it's amazing, and it's really one of the reasons I got this job is because of the people I've met, and a passion that I've had for hockey, and now I get to it's my job, and that's even more exciting. So it's just a great sport and a great community, and across the state, my kids have played on that team, South Dakota national team. So what that did is that just opened up people from all over the state, and we've got friends all over the state that have played part of that team, and it's just the community of hockey in South Dakota. It might get knocked a little bit for whatever reasons, because maybe we don't turn out enough NHLers or whatever, but it's a tight-knit community, a bit of a cult, and it's fun to be part of.
Well, we have the same situation in lots of other sports, but when we start putting these statewide competitive teams together, that really helps the game, and it really helps the players understand the most important part of that, and that's just good, friendly, good sport competition.
Absolutely. And, we've certainly made a name for ourselves with the U16s winning nationals last year, the 14s runner-up. So we're making a name for ourselves. People are starting to figure out that there's some big-time hockey happening in Sioux Falls and in South Dakota, and with Noelle Needham being she's going to be part of our facility here, and doing some legend camps out here, and maybe having a headquarters. I mean, she's a great asset to this community and to hockey in South Dakota, and she's just only going to make hockey just explode with her, the people that she knows and her talents, and I'm looking forward to working with her too. And we're gonna see some more kids coming out of the state of South Dakota that are making a name for themselves and for South Dakota.
I agree. We're really excited about bringing legends on as part of our kind of consulting and commentary crew, and just really look forward to having bigger and better relations with all the people involved in hockey.
Yeah, like we said earlier, there's people just kind of coming out of the woodworks just to be part of it, and if we can get people like her and yourself, it's only just going to help the cause.
Well, Brian, thanks again for the time, and hopefully next time Sue and Joe will be here, and we'll get a chat with all three of you.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Randy.
Thanks for watching Hockey 605.